Today in the Art Appreciation Masterclass, we are going to talk about drawing activities that you can do with your students with works of art. These activities include drawing from description, looking at the details of an artwork and sketching them, and looking at the basic composition and shapes and drawing those. One of my favorite activities for drawing in front of a work of art is blind contour drawing. Now, this is something we do in our classroom already frequently, and this is another great way to connect art with what we're already doing in the classroom. I love to do blind contour drawing with Shiva Nataraja because there's a lot of things going on and the end results always look kind of funny. In a blind contour drawing, the students look at the artwork and draw it, but they are not allowed to look down at their paper. So they're really focusing on the details of the lines, the way the lines move, the direction, the characteristics of the lines, and not focused on getting all the details perfect by looking down at the paper. So they're really noticing a lot of details that they might not have noticed if they were just looking at the artwork. This is an artwork we used in lesson 4.1 of the master class, and we talked about recreating these shapes and creating this composition again. Drawing these shapes again and putting them into this composition can help students understand the choices of the artist better. Students can also use drawing to better understand the lines and the elements and principles used in an artwork. I use these artworks in my line lesson in the resource library, and on the notes page for that lesson, it has a grayed out version of this artwork where students can draw over the top the main gesture lines and composition lines from the artwork. So you can see here how repeating the gesture lines from the artwork helps students better understand gesture lines as a whole. You could also project an artwork up onto the whiteboard and draw over the top of it with a dry erase marker, turn off the projector, and then see the lines. This also works really well for measuring facial proportions and stuff like that. Another great drawing activity that you can do in front of a work of art is you have partners of students, and one student has his back to the artwork and the other one can see the artwork. So the one who can see the artwork has to describe the artwork, and the one who can't see the artwork has to draw it based on the description alone. This works really well for description skills and drawing and communication and close observation of the work of art. And you can simply have students just draw pieces of the artwork. They can draw a modern sculpture and work on the shading, or they can practice drawing hands from the artwork. I love having students draw the Nkisi Nkondi power figure because it helps them look at it more carefully, helps them look at the proportions, and helps them think about the artwork in new ways. And the last activity I love to do with students is to give them only a small piece of the painting, and then they have to recreate the rest of it. I came up with this activity when I was on the Prado Museum's website, and it had this little snippet of that puppet from Goya's The Straw Mannequin. And I was so curious to see what this painting was. I've never seen it before, and I just went hunting for this painting to figure out what the rest of it looked like. I had no idea what it was, and I had so many different ideas going through my head about what could be surrounding it. So it's a great way for students to be creative and a really good sub-lesson as well. Next week in the Art Appreciation Masterclass, we are going to start on our last unit, which is about viewpoints and perspectives. The first video of that unit will be creative writing and drama activities surrounding works of art, which is some of my favorite activities to do with students. I'll see you there. Bye.